Good morning, students. So, we have started chapter metals and non-metals. We have completed two videos in which we have studied about the physical and only physical properties of metals and non-metals, where we have discussed seven or eight, I think, yes, eight or nine properties, physical properties of metals as well as non-metals. So, today we are going to study about the chemical properties of metals. So everyone just open your book so that we can start, because you have to see in your book what's written and what's given there. So the first property, chemical properties of metal, is electropositive character of metals. So all metals give similar chemical reactions. Okay, please notice this one, that all metals shows or give similar chemical reactions. However, the reactivity of a metal depends upon its nature and reaction conditions. Okay, so let's start that some typical chemical reaction of metals are described below. The first one is electropositive character of metals. So metals are electropositive elements. Okay, you can say metallic character also. Why? Because metals generally show, means metals, only metals can show electropositive character. So metals are electropositive elements. They are electropositive in nature. That is, metals have a tendency to lose all or some electrons and form positively charged ions. Okay, for example, you see in your book given that sodium give Na plus and 1 electron lost by sodium ion. Right, when sodium, how how it can give, how it loses 1 electron? You see here that sodium having 1 electron in the valence shell. You can see the last outermost shell, it has 1 electron, so it can easily lose 1 electron to complete its octet. If it loses 1 electron, you see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, octet is complete, so sodium becomes stable. So if it loses 1 electron, it will gain 1 positive charge and plus electron released, lost by the sodium ion, by the sodium metal, sorry. Now the second example, you see magnesium metal. So magnesium having 2 electrons in the outermost shell, so it can lose 2 electrons. So if it loses 2 electrons, it will gain 2 positive charge and 2 electrons lost by 1 magnesium atom. So you can see here that magnesium loses 2 electrons, forming Mg2 plus and plus 2 electron lost. So the tendency to lose electrons depends on the nature of metal, isn't it? Because see, the nature of metal depends, because 1 electron in the sodium metal atom and the 2 electrons in the outermost shell having magnesium. So it is depends on the nature of the metal. The second chemical properties of metal is what? We will see that how metal reacts with oxygen. So when a metal reacts with oxygen, it will form a metal oxide. Okay, it will form a metal oxide. This is what happens when a metal rusts. We can make this reaction happen quicker by burning the metal. You please leave this one because this is not given in your book. Just remember that when metal reacts with oxygen, it will form a metal oxides. Okay, now see the different examples which is given in your book. Different metals react with oxygen under different condition. You see your book. Sodium reacts with oxygen to form sodium oxide, that is Na2O. We have learned to write the chemical formula of compounds. We have learned the valency, how to find the valency and how to write the chemical formula. So you should know that how to write the chemical formula of sodium oxide. It's Na2O. So sodium plus oxygen under room temperature only, it forms sodium oxide. Magnesium, when magnesium burns in presence of oxygen only plus O2. You have to give it heat, burns with a dazzling white light. You should remember this. Again, metal combined with oxygen to form metal oxide, that is magnesium oxide. Zinc combines with oxygen. You have to heat it strong, burns with a blue flame oxygen. It forms zinc oxide. Iron plus oxygen, you have to give it a strong heating, no burning oxygen. You will have what? You'll get what? Ferroferric oxide. Then copper plus oxygen, you will get copper oxide. Here also no burning required and prolonged strong heating is there. So now you can write that what happened where magnesium plus oxygen, magnesium oxide form. Copper plus oxygen, copper oxide. Calcium plus oxygen, calcium oxide. Iron plus oxygen, ferroferric oxide. Now I want to show you this reaction. You see, magnesium plus oxygen, MgO, you have to balance also. Cu plus O2, CuO, that is 2CuO. Fe plus O2, Fe2O3. You can write Fe2O3 iron oxide also, or ferroferric oxide, Fe3O4 also. So this is all about the chemical reaction of metals with oxygen. You should also see the reactivity series. Sodium is very reactive. Then magnesium, zinc, then iron, then copper. So the metal which is more reactive, you no need to give it heat. You see, it only complete its reaction at room temperature only. So if you leave sodium in air, it will catch fire. Okay, so reactivity, you should remember the reactivity series. Sodium, then magnesium, then zinc, then iron, then copper. So from this reactivity series, you can tell that sodium is highly reactive. It is a highly reactive metal. It reacts with oxygen at room temperature only. And its reaction with water is highly vigorous. It is for this reason only sodium is kept under kerosene. Okay, so sodium is highly reactive in nature. So if you leave it in the presence of oxygen, it catches fire. And with water also, it forms sodium hydroxide. So you cannot leave sodium in air or in water. So what happened where you will keep this sodium metal, you will keep this one under kerosene. Okay, so now let's see the reaction with water. So different metals react with water under different conditions. So reaction of some common metals with water are given. You see in your book that when sodium reacts with water, see, sodium is highly reactive, so you cannot give it hot water, right? So that is why we just give it only water, cold water. So sodium hydroxide is formed and hydrogen gas is released. So when it reacts with magnesium, you have to boil it. You have to supply heat to it. It forms magnesium oxide and hydrogen gas is released. And if you take red hot, that is iron, red hot iron, and if you pass steam to it, it forms ferroferric oxide. So see, the conditions are different. Sodium, you have to give cold water. Magnesium, you have to boil the water. And for iron, you have to pass steam. Now copper, you have to see that copper with water, no reaction takes place. No reaction even at high temperature also. So for that you have to remember the reactivity series. You see, sodium is more reactive than magnesium, then iron, then copper. So hydrogen, basically what happened here, you know, actually here copper is less reactive than hydrogen. You see what happened here is copper is less reactive than hydrogen. So it cannot displace hydrogen from water. So that is why no reaction even at high temperature takes place. But in case of magnesium, iron, sodium, these are more reactive than hydrogen. So what happened over there, you know, sodium, magnesium and iron displace hydrogen from water and form hydroxides and oxides. So these metals reacts with water under different conditions. Now you should remember the reactivity series. Reactivity decreases from sodium to copper. Now the last chemical properties of metals we will discuss, that is reaction of metals with acids. So most metals reacts with dilute acids like HCl and H2SO4 to produce salt and hydrogen gas. So you see Na plus HCl, it will give one salt, that is NaCl, that is sodium chloride, and hydrogen gas is released. It takes place vigorous. Why? Because sodium is highly reactive in nature. It is more reactive metal. Now magnesium, Mg plus this is also takes place rapid. Mg plus HCl, it gives one salt, that is MgCl2, and hydrogen gas is released. Zinc with HCl, it gives ZnCl2 plus H2 gas is released. What happened when the zinc reacts with sulfuric acid? Again zinc sulfate is formed, that is ZnSO4 plus H2 gas is released, like that. One salt and hydrogen gas is released. When metal reacts with acids, dilute acids, it forms one salt and hydrogen gas. Now iron reacts with HCl to form iron chloride and hydrogen gas is released. Again you see copper has no reaction with dilute HCl. I told you copper is less reactive than hydrogen, so it cannot displace hydrogen from HCl. One more thing you should know, that reaction of metal with nitric acid, that is HNO3, not takes place. Why? It takes place but in a different condition, because nitric acid is an oxidizing agent. Okay, it is an oxidizer. The question may come that reaction of metals with nitric acids are different. Why? Because nitric acid is an oxidizing agent. One more thing I should read this one, like certain foodstuffs like citrus fruits, chutney, pickles and curd are not stored in containers made of metals such as copper, zinc, aluminium and iron. Why? Because you see here, this is very important, like these foodstuffs contain weak acids which react with these metals to produce toxic and poisonous compounds. These toxic compounds may cause food poisoning. That is why we cannot keep these chutney, pickles and curd into the containers which is made up of copper, zinc, aluminium or iron. So this is all about for today's lecture. You should remember all the chemical properties of metals. So read well, children. Thank you.